Hey, so this is an intro to the intro because this is me from 2.5 months in the future from when I first recorded the first 45 minutes or so of this episode. Now, my reasoning. So I was still sick when I recorded that first 45 minutes, and at one point, around 41 or so minutes, I needed to blow my nose, so I muted my microphone. Now, when I finished doing that, I forgot to unmute the microphone, and I kept talking for another 4 minutes. When I realized that my microphone was muted, I stopped recording with the intention of going back at some point soon to check to see when it got muted and maybe re-record that segment or something similar. That was 2.5 months ago because I never found the motivation to check to see when that happened until now, of course. So there's gonna be a good 4 minutes where it's just silence. That's my bad. Whoops. Anyways, I'm back and I'm hopefully going to upload more because I have time now. Anyways, just saying that's the situation. Now, at the end of this episode, because I was reminded by an awesome commenter, those designs I mentioned back in episode 20-something that I made, or 30-something, that were inspired by Umineko, I'm going to share those, so if you want to see those, watch till the end, if you feel like it. Thanks. Okay, cool. Now to the original intro from March 20-something. Hello and welcome to Umineko When They Cry, episode 41. Today, we are starting episode 3. That's right, we finally made it. I have no clue how this is gonna go. I have absolutely no idea where we're starting, considering the last time we started out with, or beginning of episode 2, we started with Shannon and George's island date. But, no use in speculating when we can just play. So, episode 3. Banquet of the Golden Witch. Good morning. Quite surprised to see you still haven't surrendered. The Golden Witch has extremely high hopes for you. Have you figured out the structure of this world by now? You have no chance at victory unless you know the rules. Please enjoy your game with the witch to your heart's content. The difficulty level is equal for both you and the witch. I see. Whew. Let's do this. A little nervous. It's a fictional game. Ooh, are we gonna get a new credit sequence? Like, show new characters, or is it just gonna be the same one? I don't know. Let's do this. The vase was very beautiful, rich with history and value. I wonder who the first person we're seeing in this chapter is. Or episode, whatever. Even as young as I was, it still forced me to take a deep breath when I witnessed its beauty. Of course, it was a member of Grandfather's favorite collection. Okay. So that I didn't accidentally destroy its fragile beauty. I was always given strict orders never to touch it. But that just made me want to touch it. It looked light, and yet so elegant that just glancing at it gave an indescribable sense of dignity. I I wanted to see what it felt like to touch a vase like that. However, just as grandfather had said, it was a thing that shouldn't be touched. Something this beautiful should never be touched. You know, I'm holding out hope that, I'll actually be able to solve some mysteries this time around. If it's equal, I don't know what equal means. I'm sort of being put up on Beatrice's scale of difficulty, and we're equal to that, then, you know, I'm screwed, but such beauty can only dwell in something so easily broken. Because of that, just the brush of a finger by someone like me would... Just like how a fun dream would disappear with a poof when you wake up. It disappeared, fell, and broke into pieces. Oh, so we broke the vase. I realized that, because of my own foolish curiosity, I had done something that couldn't be taken back. Oh dear. No matter how much I regretted it, no matter how much I apologized, the broken vase would not be returned to its original form. Kintsugi or whatever. Grandfather will probably scold me. Probably very harshly. I ended up breaking into tears and sobbing, frightened. As I did, I noticed something beautiful. Lightly dancing golden butterflies were coming towards me. I heard those. I haven't checked. Okay. Oh, so we automatically just get to go see this. Interesting. All of the goats. Interesting, interesting. As mysteriously glowing golden dots shone in the air, the butterflies began to gather, one at a time. Oh, it's Beatrice. Beatrice, that reliable golden witch, had arrived. That's not Beatrice. No, hold on, I wasn't prepared for another character. Hold on. The butterflies kept gathering until they formed a cloud. And then she was there. Who are you? She was always there for me. Whenever I was in trouble, she'd always appear and save me. This isn't Beatrice. No. Voice. Hold on. Gosh. Should she be British too? I mean, I've just made every witch British, every non-human thing British. Let's see. Let me try and go for something more relaxed than, Good day to you, princess. Beatrice! Is this Beatrice? I'm so confused. Oh my. Why are you crying so? And on a day so well suited for a tea party? I broke grandfather's precious vase. Grandfather's gonna get mad at me. I don't know what to do. I see. That is worrying. The master really treasured this particular vase, didn't he? Imagining how he'll punish you scares even me, Beatrice. You're not Beatrice. You're not. Grandfather was a very frightening person. And when you failed to follow something he said even once, he would become so mad, with a rage that would make even the fallen angels in hell quiver. Since I knew that down to my bones I couldn't do anything but tremble and cry. I possess no magic that can scoop up your fallen tears, princess. But if you need magic that will prevent the master from scolding you, I might be able to manage something. Really? Yes, if you'll be gracious enough to believe in my power, princess. The power of belief is the source of magic. Miracles only appear before those of great faith. I believe. I believe in your power, Beatrice. So please, fix this vase. Please. If that is what you want, Princess, then leave it to me, Beatrice. You know, just because you say Beatrice doesn't make you Beatrice. When she extended her index finger, a golden butterfly softly landed there and changed its form into her favorite cane. But even that was enough to give me a small glimpse at Beatrice's wonderful and awesome magic power. She pointed her cane at the broken vase, and just like a child's lullaby, she began speaking the magic words. See, she's a cane and not the pipe. Though I guess the physical form Beatrice also had the cane. No. No. Come, try closing your eyes, and try to remember. What form did you have? It was surely a very, very beautiful form. Please, show me that form one more time. Were they words, or was it a song? No, it had to be magic. After all, can't you see? The pieces of the vase are rapidly gathering together, gently returning to the place where they'd been on display, reassembling into their original form. Incredible. Oh wait, incredible. See? Now it's back to normal. This way you won't have to get yelled at by the master. Thank you? I don't want to call her Beatrice, because I don't believe in that. I believe in Beatrice, but that's not my Beatrice. Beatrice, you really are amazing. You can fix broken vases like it's nothing. That's not true. Returning something broken to its original form is a very, very difficult thing to do. My magic can only make it remember what it once was for a short time. But the vase really turned back to the way it was, right? Correct. But that doesn't mean the vase has avoided its fate of being broken. All I did was temporarily get the broken vase to remember its form before it broke. I have not yet attained the high levels of magical power that might be used to restore a broken fate to its original form. Okay, the only justification there can be, if she's not powerful enough, because my Beatrice could do that in the blink of an eye. So, perhaps this is a much earlier time period, and this Beatrice is our Beatrice, but much younger, less powerful. She's a different form. At that time, the high-pitched scream of a servant could be heard from inside the mansion. When I went to see what happened, I noticed that several of the servants had gathered and were cleaning up the remains of the broken vase. From what they said, it seemed a black cat had sneaked in from somewhere and had climbed up on the vase, causing it to break. This is a different-looking mansion, so we could be on Rokonjima in a earlier time, or this could be a completely different island, or completely different mansion. Who knows if we're on an island or not, but I understood the meaning of Beatrice's words. At the moment I broke the vase was broken. Beatrice let me see the vase being restored, but that was a temporary thing. Didn't mean she'd changed the fate of the vase being broken. Yes, I believe she did just say that. And so, the vase remembered its true fate and broke. However, the one who broke it wasn't me, but a cat that had stuck in. That's right. Beatrice never said, "Let's fix the vase." She said she'd prevent the master from scolding me. The fate of the vase breaking hadn't changed, but the fact that I broke it certainly has. Beatrice cleverly saved me from danger with that magic. It is very easy to break something, After all, you didn't need magic to break that vase, Princess. Then, is fixing stuff really hard? It is. It's so hard that you broke down crying, unsure of what to do. Does that mean magic is easier to use when doing terrifying things? That breaking and killing is really easy, but fixing and reviving things is really hard? That's right. With magic, it is far easier to break and kill. That's why weak witches lose the temptation and become intoxicated with gathering easy power for themselves, neglecting their true magical training. Real magic is the power to repair, to revive, to summon happiness that has disappeared, to summon love that has grown cold. And it can even summon a smile to the face of a princess who has forgotten how. Then, Beatrice, since you managed to fix that vase, does that mean you're an incredible witch? Oh wait, I forgot to... I want to see. I don't know how to feel. It's not the worst. It's really not the worst, one. I can enjoy it a lot better than some of the, other ones. My days of training are far from over. After all, I couldn't make the vase forget its fate for even an hour. I'm sure my teacher, who taught me magic, would have been able to restore the vase to its original form forever. So, if it kept breaking and breaking, she'd be able to fix it over and over again? Yes. When one reaches that level, they are considered to be an endless witch. That is the endless level that all witches ought to reach. Beatrice was referred to as Beatrice the Endless. So, if this is our Beatrice, that means she does reach that level. We offer the utmost respect to those witches and call them by that title. An endless witch. That's right. To witches with the power to mend things endlessly, the concept of breaking doesn't even exist. They are released from all the sadness caused by losing things, and are promised eternal bliss. Certainly, the human world is full of sadness caused by separation and loss. To escape that sadness, people pray to gods and ask for the power to withstand their sadness, believing it to be a test. In other words, a human life is a journey, searching for a way to withstand sadness. In that case, a witch who could revive all things would be freed from all sadness in the world. Simply put, that would mean eternal bliss. I wonder if I could become a witch like you and gain eternal happiness. You, Princess? It is a long, long, difficult path, you see? I want to become a witch. I want to find happiness. Beatrice, I want to become your disciple. Do you have even a trace of doubt in that feeling? No. I want to become a witch too. I understand. Then, until you get tired of me, I will make you my disciple. Will you call me teacher? Yes, teacher. That's a good answer. Then from now on, learn the depths of magic along with me. I am also in training. Let us both learn the proper use of magic, doing our best to reach that blissful level. Yes, teacher. Fade out. Black and white. Oh? We're in a witchy place now. But with whom? Oh! My Beatrice. Ah, a dream. That face takes me back. Ooh, I got another theory. That our little princess in that scene was our Beatrice. And that she was just so inspired by that Beatrice that, you know. Either that or it was a previous form. It could be one of the two. It could be either. I'm sure we'll be told eventually. And endless switch, was it? That rank I'd yearned for in the past as the highest possible achievement was now just another one of my titles. No, you might even call it my calling card. Every once in a while, being called that can be quite satisfying. I trained so many days to achieve that rank. It'd be a bit of a waste if I never got a chance to appreciate it. She shook her head lightly. If it's the highest possible level, that means there's nothing higher. An eternal dead end, the beginning of eternal boredom. I remember what teacher told me. When one is released from all sadness, it is the same as eternal bliss. That's what makes me think that teacher couldn't ever have reached that level. So is my second theory true? Eternal bliss means eternal boredom, and that's the beginning of eternal torture. But it all depends on how you look at it. Eternal boredom is the same as a sketchbook that doesn't run out of pages. It means you can draw whatever you want, can try to have as much fun as you want. Boredom is the worst sort of poison, which kills all witches. Even those great witches who are given the title Lady fear it. It's the eternal poison that tortures them because of the eternal bliss they've reached. Now that I've earned the name of Endless Witch, I truly wish I could speak with teacher again. Is happiness really what lay at the end of our training? And just what is happiness? I wish I could talk with her about that now. Training has no end. When you think you've reached the eternal level, that's exactly the time to bemoan your own immaturity. I recalled those words as though she'd answered me directly. I see. So I'm immature, am I? How amusing, how truly amusing. The sound of painfully shrill laughter rang out. It was coming from my furniture. What, did they break their toy again? Oh, fuck, I forgot the voice. Oh man, it's one of the annoying ones. Okay. We're just gonna go with something. Beatrice-sama, this guy stopped moving again. And I haven't had nearly enough fun yet. What about that man? But I haven't gotten a chance to play at all yet. Let me play. Be silent, Phil. If you keep devouring him like starving dogs, of course he'll keep breaking right away, no matter how well Beatrice-sama fixes him up. See, they're all just gonna sound kind of the same. They're sisters, so. You broke him the most, Satan-y. You just don't know what holding back means. Oh my god, they just keep showing up. My apologies, Beatrice-sama. Please forgive my stupid little sisters. Fix him quickly! I'm next! They all sound the same. Must you keep up that infernal racket? A single yell was all it took to make the noisy sisters of the Seven Stakes vanish. All they do is mess around, having as much fun as they want breaking him. They only come to me to clean up afterwards. Truly, this furniture never leaves me bored. Once the furniture hid themselves, all that remained was a sloppy mess. The last remnants of a broken toy. It had no form anymore.
It's hard even for me to remember its original form in this state. Better to make it remember for itself, perhaps. Oh well. I waved my golden pipe. Then I spoke. I chanted. I made it remember. Come, try to remember. What form did you have? After all, right now, you pretty much look like a huge lump of scrap meat. I have no idea which part is your arm and which is your leg. Unless you remember. I won't even be able to recall your face. By the power of magic, the pitiful pieces of meat began to remember what their form had been. Which part should go with which part, and where should join with where. That's right, just like that. No, you should be a finger on the left hand. That's the right hand. That's it. Good. Good morning. Have you woken up, Ushimia Battler? How ironic that your true nightmare begins after you awaken. Ow. If you would just accept that I'm a witch, you'll quickly wake up from this nightmare, and I'll send you to heaven. I am the king of Mount Purgatory. There's no escape from this hell without my approval. You call this hell? It's just useless. That's all useless. I'm impressed you could still talk like that. Even after experiencing the pain of death not once, like any normal human, but more times than I could count with all of my fingers. This is why I never get bored. I never get bored of you. Interesting. Yeah, no boredom problem here. For all I get my pick of those massive... The what? Hey, Battler. What did we talk about? Battler, what did we talk about? Your harem? Wait, hold on. Thanks to that, I'm not likely to get bored for a while now. That's splendid. Otherwise, I would get bored too. So, my furniture. I fixed him so you could play as much as you want. Thank you very much. All mine. I told you, you're turned over. I'm next. Get away from him. Wonderful, isn't it, Matlican? Look how popular you are. Popular guys have it rough. Get in line, freaks. Ladies. If you just stayed obedient instead of acting tough, this would go much easier. Nah, he's good like this. His screams feel so much better. Okay, let's not break him so quickly this time. Did you all hear me? You aren't running this show. Batlican, let's continue where we left off, okay? After they locked Jessica Chan's room with the master key, how did they return the key to the corpse's pocket, which was inside the room? Well, maybe. That's it. They used a fishing line or something, sending the key into the room through the crack of the door. Hey, wait, I had that idea. I had that idea too, Battler. Wait, I'm finding kinship. Wrong! Okay. No, it's okay. So naive. Of all the doors that exist on Rokenjima, none has a crack through which a key can slip. Well, if you put the key on the line, then shut the door. There you go. No, wait. Never mind, that wouldn't work because you have to lock the door. Ignore me. He was wrong, right? Okay, this time it's me, my turn. Where should I strike? Me! Back of the hand. No fair! Okay, then I've got the back of his other hand. I'll take the tip of his nose. Why, let me do it too. Let me strike too. Wow. Oh my god, why is she kind of like number 5 from JoJo's? Speaking of which, wasn't episode 1 of Steel Ball Run fire, my fellow JoJo fans out there? Yeah, it was. Still no release schedule, but hoping for weekly. Don't be so slow, Leviane. We've always done first come, first serve. Okay, I'll take the top of his foot. Wah! Me too, me too. I'll take his shoulder, okay? Are you like punching holes in him? You're sisters, right? Play nice with each other, okay? I can't believe you're still resisting. Why haven't you realized that your false courage actually gets us fired up? Sorry, but false courage and being stubborn are my specialties. No matter how you all try to confuse the issues, I definitely won't accept witches and magic. Even though you can't explain anything but humans and tricks. Are you stupid? Know your place. It's okay, we don't have to force him to accept it. Soon he'll want to accept it so hard he'll start crying. Even now he really wants to kneel down on the ground and pitifully and beg for our forgiveness. Ouch. He's broken already. God, who the fuck is her barber? She's got a... Those bangs are insane. I'm sorry, they've been bothering me. Beatrice, ah, well, since they know I can revive him over and over, my furniture won't even hesitate to break him. Good grief. Giving eternal rebirth and eternal death at will. For the endless witch Beatrice, all death in life has no meaning. Even death can't become the key to escape from my cage. Come, Battler. Remember your original form. Again. I'll toy with you to my heart's content, understand? I see. How truly pleasant to have a toy to play with for all eternity. Ah, could this be the endless bliss which is gained at the endless level? I see. Yes, this bliss sadly is amusing. I'll revive you over and over, kill you over and over. Let's see what kind of murder play will unfold on the next game board. Come, bring it in, let the next game begin. Ushimia Battler. Oh dear. Are we starting round 3? Starting round 3. Oh. Okay, I think it's just the same intro. Let's see if I pick anything else up. If there is anything to pick up. If I knew the words, I'd sing along. Evil Maria, Battler, Jessica, George, Kiri. Whoa, Datsuhi. Oh. All the symbols. Bloody Maria. And the bottle. And there's the seagull! Is it crying yet? Is the seagull crying yet? Where are we going? We're on the ocean. We're on Rokenjima. We're on a boat. Oh, hey, it's Rudolph! Hey, guy. Hey! I wasn't... Oh, man, I gotta remember how you talk. Dang. Too bad Aneki hates cigarettes so much. Sorry. She's been pretty grumpy since last night. Please don't hold it against her. Man, it's been a while since I've seen these guys. Whew. Maybe they'll make it longer this time. Rudolph and Hideyoshi went out onto the deck and took out some cigarettes. Ava had always hated the smell of cigarettes, but when she was in a bad mood, she got even more sensitive to them. When they decided to smoke casually until they reached the island, the two of them had gotten yelled at and chased out onto the deck. Hideyoshi tried to use his lighter, but the strong winds gave him some trouble. Rudolph took out a Zippo with a smooth gesture and let Hideyoshi borrow the flame. When did you start smoking cigarettes, Hideyoshi-san? Just after the war. In the beginning, I was rolling them. Then I started using what I sold. Wahahaha. So, you were already smoking when you met Aneki. She's always telling you to stop. I never listened to her, so she's already completely given up on that. Wahaha. Men gotta be stubborn times like these. Hideyoshi laughed heartily, but Rudolph snickered. After being scolded by Ava, they'd escaped to the deck together with their tails between their legs. There was little doubt who had gotten her way in that exchange. She isn't usually so short-tempered. In fact, she's usually a more gentle, quiet woman. Every year she changes when this day comes. Is that so? To me, she looks just like the Aneki we've all known for so long. You know what? I am gonna give him a southern accent. I'm committing Rudolph's southern agenda. Here we are. That's just it. She's back to being Ava of the Ushimiya family. That ain't the Ava I know. Well, I know why she's grumpy. This family conference is gonna be a pain. Got that right. There's that plan to threaten money out of Krasny-san. We may call it a family conference, but it's gonna be just a sibling fight at this rate. Before the family conference, 3 of the siblings had made a secret pact without Kraus. They were all facing urgent situations and needed a lot of money fast. And the only one they could turn to was Kraus, who spoke for the Ushimiya head now that Kenzo spent his time shut up in his study. Okay, so we're already on the boat. For a long time now, they'd vaguely sensed that Kraus was taking advantage of the fact that Kenzo had lost interest in his own wealth. And they suspected that he'd started embezzling that wealth to suit his own purposes. Despite being disgusted by this, they turned a blind eye to it while everything was still going smoothly for them. But now that they needed money, they really couldn't afford to let it slide. Ava had asked Rudolph and Rosa to form an alliance. They were now scheming to take that money away from Kraus. Rudolph-kun, both you and I are company presidents. We're responsible for the livelihood of our employees. Rosa's a president too. Well, as a hobby. That's right. Sorry. Basically, we've all got responsibilities. Now that I've thrown down the gauntlet in front of the executive board, I've got to bring in the money, even if it means getting down on my knees or drinking mud. Same here. I can't betray the employees who've trusted me and followed me for so long. That's why I need to get some money out of Krasny-san, even if I have to grab him by the neck. Aneki and Aniki have always been at each other's throats. I did the wrong voice, it's okay. And now she's got to challenge Aniki head on. It's no wonder she's on edge. So, Ava really has had a bad relationship with Krasny-san since long ago. Hasn't she talked about it? They were always at each other's throats. She never talks about the past, even if I ask. She probably doesn't want to remember. She's always been brainy and shrewd. Her grades were good too. Compared to that, Aniki was just average. The simple fact she existed would have been pressure enough, but she kept boasting about it and driving him into a corner. That fool. Why drive him into a corner so openly? I'd hardly call that shrewd. No kidding. And Iki regretted being born a woman. So she probably couldn't forgive an Iki, since he was chosen to succeed the head just because he was a man. She'd always boast to Dad, letting him see that she was better at every little thing. Father really is an old-fashioned person. Gender discrimination was part of his system of values. I'll bet Ava's eagerness to prove herself made him dislike her a bit. Wouldn't you say schooling for women is like sugar and black tea? The taste is dull and flat without it, but too much ruins the whole thing. Since you could still drink black tea without sugar, he was in effect saying that there was no need for women to study. Those infuriating words were what Nissan hurled at me in my despair, when I asked to go to college only to be denied by Father. I protested that I needed to build up proper dignity in an education as the oldest daughter in the Ushimiya family, making college an essential next step. But when it came down to it, Father's and Nissan's answers were exactly the same. How conceited for a woman. I've never taken the Ushimiya name lightly, not once since I was born into it. I've been even more careful not to take my father's name Ushimiya Kinzo lightly. Our family is an old one, with many traditions. But it lost its wealth and business in the Great Kanto earthquake, pushing it to the brink at one point. That was when Father took control with his ingenious talent, reviving it to be even greater than it had been before. Not once did I forget that I was the daughter of that great Ushimiya Kinzo. That's why I always made every effort to become worthy of that name. I needed dignity worthy of the Ushimiya family. Schooling, manners, and leadership. Even if I couldn't quite reach Father's level, I deepened my knowledge in economics and finance, trying to improve myself so I could be of use to him at any time. However, in the end, Father never acknowledged my efforts. To Father, a woman was only meant to support a man, and nothing further than that was permissible. When was it that I came to understand that? It may have been as early as my childhood years, but I was going to have to wait until I grew up before I could truly accept it. Compared to me, you could have said that Kraus, my older brother of 2 years, worked hard and all to become deserving of the Ushimiya family name. He told me many times since my early childhood that he would naturally succeed Father, simply because he was born a man. He kept on repeating that, as though it formed an uncrossable gap between us. I couldn't stand it, even though I always got better grades than Nissan, even though I became class president when he never managed more than vice president. Even so, Nissan was considered to be the appropriate successor to the Ushimiya family just because he was a man. Of course, you could find gender discrimination everywhere in those days. No, it was even considered a virtue in that era. During that despicable time, people said that when a woman is born, she obeys her parents. When she gets married, she obeys her husband. When she gets old, she obeys her children. But that was exactly why I wanted to turn that on its head. Innocently, I kept trying to prove that I was the most fit. However, I eventually realized that all of my efforts had been doomed from the very beginning.
Yes, it is bizarre. You undoubtedly are the oldest daughter of the glorious Ushirmia family. One day you will support that family crest by being wed to the partner most valuable for father. However, excessive learning is not what's being asked of you. What you need are gentle feelings that will allow you to care for your husband, the ability to handle housework, and a humble demeanor that will reflect well on the master of your household. Oh my god, bro. These are all the skills you lack utterly. In the end, can you really call yourself a suitable daughter of the Ushirmia family? Buddy, can you call yourself a suitable human being on the planet Earth? The fuck are you talking about? I have no intention of being some secluded lady. I just want to become the person most capable of assisting father at his work. Then shouldn't you do so in a manner befitting an Ushirmia family daughter? What is it with you? You're still mannish even at your age. You've never learned how to wear makeup in a way that will please men, much less how to cook and do housework. I hear you've even been learning how to brawl. Don't fucking start. That's rude. The martial arts aren't brawling. They're a perfect way to train and discipline the mind. And when it's needed, I take more than enough care to act as a woman should. What are you trying to say? That women should be slaves who work for men, so I mustn't be so forward? It isn't elegant to say it out loud, but I think a few unpleasant words are necessary in order to correct your mistake. So let me say it plainly. Women exist to serve men, and men exist to provide for women. A woman's job is to protect the man's back, to protect his house and raise his children. Most women realize this without being told. They realize it on their own. But even after all these years, you still haven't realized that about yourself. So I've decided to clear away that misunderstanding for you before you leave this family. You ought to thank me. This is an insult to all women. No, wait, I've never thought of myself as a woman. And I've never depended on anyone because I'm a woman. How am I inferior to you, Nissan? In grades and accomplishments and everything, I'm better. So how can you look down on me when you have nothing I lack, except the fact that you're a man? It's about knowing one's place. Every day I've been raised with the readiness of one who will be head. In the future, that preparation will surely become essential. But you are different. Even though you will marry and lose the Ushirmia family name, you're being trapped by this unnecessary illusion. What's your complaint? Even if you had been born a man, the successor to the headship still probably wouldn't have been you. Why are you so unsatisfied that you insist on attacking me even now? What's my complaint, you say? Nissan, you're always like that! Looking down on me because you'll succeed the head, even though... Ugh. What's my complaint, you say? I've got a billion of them. Grudges, hard feelings, humiliations that I'll never forget kept floating through the back of my mind. They all built up at the same time, coming out of my throat as a shameful moaning. What's all this noise? God isn't the only one who holds silence as a virtue. Father. You probably overheard our sibling fight. Father entered with a clearly unhappy face. When is it not unhappy? Kraus, are you fighting with your siblings again? Why don't you have the dignity to act as a leader for your brother and sisters? How shameful. I'm embarrassed to hear this from my eldest son. In a flash, he struck Kraus's face. I readied myself to be struck in the same way, but I wasn't hit. My apologies, Father. Dignity isn't the only thing you lack. There's much more. You're immature in everything. And even so, you pretend like you're an adult. Realize that it's 100 years too early for you to talk like that, and devote yourself to your studies. Don't make me lament my son's incompetence anymore. Yes, I will continue to strive so that I can become a person worthy of succeeding you, Father. It was as if those words were directed at me. Even when he was being yelled at by Father, he was still bragging to me about how he was special, about how he was the successor. I just couldn't stand it, and finally spoke what was on my mind. Even though I realized that it would be improper for a member of the Ushimiya family to do such a thing. Father, please tell me how I'm inferior to him. I've tried so hard, studied so hard to become a person who won't bring shame to your name. Please, tell me how I'm inferior. How can I improve myself enough to earn your acknowledgement? That again? How many times do I have to say it before you'll understand? I expect nothing from you. Women should be women and just learn how to cook and sew. You aren't prepared at all as a woman. And you, I don't see a trace of the mindset needed to serve one's husband, to earnestly devote oneself to a man's needs. This is why you'll die sad and alone, Kinzo. What good are you as a woman? Don't you realize that you're a daughter of the Ushimiya family? And yet you only want to learn things so you can act like a man. Your duty is not to imitate Kraus. Don't you even understand your own duty? As a member of the Ushimiya family, I won't bring shame to your name. That's it, that's where you're already wrong. Your duty is to marry out of the family and bring me a man who is profitable to me. And then you will devote yourself to your husband, give birth to children, and multiply. What the fuck? Be a good wife who brings praise to your husband's family. Just what is it that you can do to please a man? Do you think you can make tea? Do you have any talent in cooking? You have nothing. All you've done is to try and mimic Kraus, haven't you? Kraus will succeed the Ushimiya family. If you are unsatisfied with that, then you are disobeying me. Are you saying you refuse to listen to what I say, even though you're my daughter? Get out! You're disinherited. I won't let you call yourself an Ushimiya. Disinherited. Disinherited! Father, hang in there. Please, calm down. Genji-san, could you bring some water? Yes. Immediately. I like how we're not showing Kraus and Ava. Is this because we didn't want to... We didn't want to draw sprites for them as younger? To be honest, because, honestly, that's something I would do. Ava, leave this place. He doesn't mean what he says. I will calm him down. Oh my god, this bitch is crying. Cough, cough, cough. Disinherited. If you won't listen to me, you're disinherited. Cough, cough, cough. Okay, bro. Knock it off. Father was coughing pretty badly, and Nissan patted his back. So it was a duty that was naturally his. It was so vexing for me to let him take that duty all for himself right then. If I carelessly approached Father at that moment, I would probably be the one to get hit next. However, I fearlessly tried to approach Father's back. Genji blocked me. Eva-sama, perhaps it would be better if you stepped outside for now. The master is not in a good mood today. But... Cough, cough. Why are my children so incompetent? Kraus is lacking in dignity. Ava is always a stubborn tomboy. I have no son who's like a man, and not even a daughter who's like a woman. Where did I go wrong raising them? Why, Genji? When and where did I go wrong? Master, you haven't done anything wrong. Kraus-sama has grown into a sturdy son, and Ava-sama into a lovely daughter. You haven't made any mistakes. How can you say that? What's so lovely about her? Far from a lady, she's always acting like a man. Cough, cough, cough. Disinherited, disinherited! Cough, cough. Father, that's just what I'm always telling Ava. Stop being a fucking suck-up, Kraus! Ava has promised that she will have a change of heart and act like a lady. Couldn't you postpone that decision for just a little longer? Who's a lady? Cough, cough. Disinherited, disinherited, cough, cough. Oh my god, shut up. Go quickly and leave this to me. Kraus gave me a look telling me that. Did I take the wrong path? Just like Father and Nissan said? True, I never studied how to be a lady. Everything I've learned was done in the hopes that I could help Father someday. But is that really true? Haven't I always been trying to compete with Nissan, with whom I've had a bad relationship since I was a young girl? Because I wanted to steal his position as successor and show him a thing or two? Every chance he gets, Nissan tells me that men should be manly and women should be womanly. I've been tormented by this unfair discrimination just because of my gender, something people are born with and can't do anything about. I resisted, endeavoring to this very day to study and prove that I'm not inferior, despite being a woman. But doesn't that mean my love of learning comes entirely from a stupid complex I've got against Nissan? Father wanted me to become a lady with whom he could go out in public and not be embarrassed. Did I betray his hopes, earning good grades and threatening Nissan, just to satisfy a childhood resentment? That's not it. Okay, well, I guess we do get to see young Ava. My bad, I guess I jumped a shark. Jumped a gun? Jump the shark is something completely else. Oh my god. That's not it. You swore to me, saying I will become the successor to the Ushimi family. You. The one whispering to me was the me of my years as a young girl, born inside my heart on the day I made that oath. That's right. She was my only ally. Things got difficult. When I felt like I was about to get crushed by it all, she would quietly appear, support me. When I ran into roadblocks and despaired, she would always appear and support me. When I grew up and the memories of my childhood years faded, I also started to forget my conversations with her. I, Ushimiya Ava, will definitely become the head of the Ushimiya family. And I'll triumph over that irritating, arrogant Kraus. On that day, we promised to do our best together and achieve that. That's right, we promised. On that day, I promised that I would become the successor to the Ushimiya headship. On that day when I had been overcome with sadness, wondering why I was even alive. You appeared from inside me and lent me your strength. Father didn't accept me. I wanted to teach Nissan a lesson. I believed that doing this would let me say goodbye to the wretched creature I once was. For a time, I truly believed that my life had no purpose other than to be looked down upon by Nissan. It's painful just remembering those days. There were a wound, a crack inside my heart. She taught me how to sew up that wound. I turned my anger into effort and improved myself, trying to become a person more worthy of the headship than Kraus was, trying to triumph over him by making Father accept me. It was my perfect revenge. Wait, do we get to see? No. I thought we might get to see little Ava. No, okay. I was vaguely aware that a woman couldn't possibly become the family head. But I thought that maybe, if I could prove myself valuable enough to overturn that premise, then surely even Father would select me to be his successor. If that happened, then I'd be able to have the greatest and most perfect revenge against Nissan, who always acted like his succession to the headship was completely inevitable. That's right. If we can manage that, the wounds in our heart will be healed. We promised each other to do our best until that day comes. And now you're saying you're gonna break that promise? Scum. Coward. If only you'd just give up and die. Even though she looked like me as a kid, she was still another me. Her tongue was sharp because it was mine. Makes me pretty mad hearing that, even from myself. You have no right to speak of me like that. And let's use that anger to fuel our learning. Changing anger into power is my magic. I've saved you from a bunch of tight spots with that power, letting you succeed when you shouldn't have. As long as you have my magic, there's nothing you can't do. That's right. Anger has always been my driving force. I wonder when it was I forgot that. If you can remember me again, that magic will become ours once more. Come on, let's turn that anger into power and study even harder, okay? I know we've still got a lot to learn. Let's go to college, study more and more, get excellent grades, and drive Kraus into a corner. That guy acts like we're nothing, but I'm sure he feels pretty well cornered in the inside. If only he'd just learn his place and die. If he did, we could become the head. Rudolph won't take the job. That kid can't go against us. Stop that. No matter how much more I study, Father still won't accept me. Why not? Father told me to be womanly. Because I'm a woman, no matter how hard I tried, Father wouldn't have passed the headship on to me, even if I had been born before Nissan. No matter how much effort I put in, I can't become anything more than a woman. I won't be acknowledged. Nissan doesn't try at all, but I can't surpass him. He'll look down on me forever. Father and Kraus are the worst kind of male supremacists. If only they'd just die. She cursed them for my sake. Words that I couldn't say so easily, she said for me. Even though I understand that she's just another part of myself inside of me, I feel like she's the only ally I have who can sympathize with me. However, while sympathy might do a lot to calm my heart, it won't do anything to improve my current situation. In the end, she can only console me for however long it takes me to be dejected by reality, before I finally accept it. Thank you. You've done enough. Now that it's come to this, I'll become such a good lady that I'll even shock Father. I'll find an excellent man that Nissan can't even compare to. You can't do that. She rejected my timid thoughts. I understand. Because she is me, I understand. All Father said was that he won't let a woman succeed the headship now. But even that's just a rule Father made up. Since he made it, he can get rid of it. Human feelings can change far more often than the number of sand grains on a beach. Kraus is such a stupid man that Father is eventually going to realize it, even if we don't prove it for him. When that happens, the wall that separates man from woman will be demolished by Father himself, who set it up in the first place. That day will surely come. How can you be so sure? Because that's my magic. If you just believe, this magic will surely summon a miracle. The basis of my magic is nothing more than your believing heart. If I use this magic, then surely I'll never have to doubt until the day I die that I'll eventually become the head. But I don't know if that's the right thing for Usharmia Eva. Maybe I should aim to become the kind of lady Father wants. Someone who can proudly participate in high society. If I'm reborn, maybe Father will change his opinion of me. Maybe I can find my own lifestyle just as Nissan has found his. And anyway, I just can't imagine my stubborn father choosing a woman like me as the head. Especially if it means skipping over Kraus. You don't believe? I was just thinking. Maybe I can't succeed the headship, but as a woman, I can have a child. And Nissan still isn't engaged. Nissan isn't able to father a child, and I gave birth to one, then wouldn't that make my child the next head after Nissan? In other words, wouldn't that mean the same thing as stealing the headship from Nissan? Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. True, it'll be very sad to abandon a resolve I've had since childhood. Pains my heart to betray you, my younger self. But this is my most realistic option. Are you throwing away your dreams? And me as well? I'm not throwing anything away. I'm an adult, and the day has come for me to part ways with you. That's right. Ava's already become an adult. She's even forgotten how to use magic. And now she's the mother of a single child. She forgot all about how magic can grant one's own dreams. Now she's forcing those dreams onto her son. Even though Father and Krause ruined your life, you're trying to push your dreams onto your son, ruining his life. Is that what you call being an adult? George is a son I'm proud of, one who won't embarrass himself no matter where he goes. The dream I wasn't granted might come true for George. Jessica's a delinquent in both her grades and her behavior. She's a woman. If only Jessica would step down, George would become the heir. Even saying it was painful. Am I just forcing my own regrets onto George? It's not like I have any right to look on Jessica with scorn. Wasn't I just horrible for hitting her with the same words that had caused me so much suffering? I understand. Desire to triumph over my brother is part of my own personal revenge. I can't use George for that. So I'll take revenge myself. I have a plan to cheat Nissan out of some of his money, with Rudolph and Rosa as my allies. I'll surely be able to get back at him. In any case, I'm sure that Nissan is embezzling Father's assets. What a boring plan. Why don't you just give up on that and cry yourself to sleep? We'll become the Ushimiya family head. Don't mistake what your dream is. Believe me when I say it'll definitely come true. Believe in my magic. If I believe, I wonder if any power will dwell in that magic. It will. My magic can grant any wish with certainty. I just realized young Ava has blue eyes, but adult Ava has black eyes. Do you just like lose your whimsy when you age? Cause Maria has blue eyes and they're talking about magic, so if Maria has magic and oh my god, wait, magic. Okay, so I'm believing in this magic. I'll believe too. I'm putting my hand in the circle. I believe. I'll believe. So create a miracle with that magic. If you don't, the hole in my heart will never heal. Okay. Then listen well. Listen to my magic words. And understand. If we can solve the riddle, we can become the Ushimiya family head. So lend me your ears and listen carefully. Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the Golden Land, follow its path downstream in search of the key. Yeah, that's part of the epitaph. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna leave off there. Sorry about the long wait for this episode. My bad. I'm not gonna say bye yet, because I do have that thing I want to show you, but if you're not interested in that, that's the end of the episode. Thanks for watching. I will be back soon. I promise. I promise this time. For once. Whew. But, yeah. Awesome. Okay. So, like I said, I created costume designs for a play called The King's Stag. And it's like it's a commedia dell'arte children's show, whatever. And the prompt we were given was to, take that and apply the wedding traditions of something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So, something old, of course, was incorporating the Commedia dell'arte. Something new was just like a new practice, new technology, like new something. So I ended up doing like the 2000s, 2010s, whatever, practice of layering clothing, whatever it. I was out of ideas. Something borrowed was, borrowing from a visual designer in some capacity. So I borrowed from Ryokishi and like Umineko designs. And then something blue was just blue would be involved in costumes to show like oh my god, wait, what was it? Oh, so whenever, like, to show confidence. So it would be costume pieces that characters could either put on or take off in order to show, like, their confidence or their belief in themselves changing. So the first set of characters that I did the costume design for were these four. So let's take a look, see if you can notice any Umineko inspiration. The first thing I'll point out is the antler, the blue antler. I directly inspired by the one-winged eagle. So I showed that because it takes place in a kingdom called Serendippo or whatever. So that's the Serendippo crest to show just like people from the kingdom. So next, so we got the first two characters on the left. We got Leandro and Clarice. Take one more look. See if we can figure out who they're inspired by. Okay, now I'll tell you. It's George and Shannon. It's George and Shannon. Because these two in the show are forbidden lovers. Kind of like George and Shannon. So you kind of went with that. Then, middle guy, Truffaldino. Now, maybe I spoiled myself, but I also don't really know this character. I was just looking at characters because I needed something to figure out for this guy. So I found some character in Umineko. I don't know when he's going to show up, what he is, what he does. What's his name? Sakutaro? Something like... Yeah, that guy. I don't know. Oh no, he is. I didn't really spoil myself. I just know what the character looks like. Next up, on the right, we got Smeraldina. One look. Figured out. It's Ava. It's Ava. Of course it's Ava. It fits her. If you know this character, from the play. It's not a bad show. It's a children's play, so, it's very child-oriented, but yeah, so, Ava. Then we have our next set of characters. So these four. Up on the left, we have Spavento, General Spavento. Interesting character. He was inspired by... It's a mix of Goda and Rudolph. Just fashion design. I wanted to include Rudolph somehow. Goda because the character's kind of a coward. But then he finds himself. But, you all know how much I hate Goda. Then next up we have Pantalone. Him... Again, another character I don't know and still don't know anything about, so I guess it's not much of a spoiler. Whoever Renove is... I don't know who that is. I was looking up pictures of characters because I needed something. Okay, then we have King Dramo. I think we can tell who this is inspired by. Guys, it's Kenzo. It's just Kenzo. Yeah, that's the king. That's the king in the play. And then last we have Tartaglia, and he's a evil backstabber, so Kraus. It's just Kraus, guys. It's Kraus. So, oh, and then we got the last costume design I have is the big one. It's the King Stag that shows up. And, with an important mythical creature like that. We gotta just take it in, look at it, feel it. It's Beatrice. Inspired by Beatrice. So yeah. Just wanted to show you guys if anyone was interested. I didn't have to make these, like, actually, I didn't have to make these costumes physically. All I had to do was draw them. I could have made it for this one specifically because it's fully realized, so, like, showing what materials you would use, but I'm not that good at sewing. Like, I can sew, but I can't make clothes. So if they actually wanted me to make stuff, bro, SOL, shit out of luck. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Again, glad I could come back finally. Finally got it together. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll be back again soon. Bye.